Welcome to Shamanic Directions. My name is Claire J. If you do not know me, I bring clarity to people's pain. I assist and support people in understanding pain and shifting from tension, disease, and discomfort to heart, open, safety, freedom, understanding. How do I do that? I want to give you something of value and something that's fairly simple today, because understanding the medicine wheel and the whole empowerment process is quite a thing. So what I deliver moves through the 4 stages of human consciousness. This is the South, the West, the North, the East. The South being victim consciousness and things in your past that have happened to you. The West is fear, and usually fear-based things are projections into the future. So this consciousness is life is created by me, but what are you creating in your future, and are there fear streams in your future projections? Then you move on to the North, which is your purpose. How can you expand and open into more joy? When is your heart open? When do you go into protection and close it? And can you navigate expanding into your purpose and more love and more creativity and more playfulness? Then in the East you have ASME consciousness, which is trusting your worth and really finding that spiritual center of the love consciousness in you and the mirror of that consciousness in every other being, every other life form, animals, nature, and really is the oneness of the universe. And I guess your trust in spirit, your trust in the spiritual essence of you. It's like coming home. And the first stages of this start with cleaning up your victim archetype in the past and also any future projections of fear. These are really important to do first, because if you try and create a reality or say, okay, my thoughts are creating my reality and I want this in my life, why am I not getting it? It's tricky to start in the North, which is quite a lot of maybe spiritual teachings and things. It's like, yes, that's the essence, but if you haven't done the corners of consciousness 1 and 2, you're really going to struggle if you're trying to do the 3rd stage of consciousness first, because it's like trying to plug in new data to a hard drive that's already completely full. It's like you kind of need to take things out of this hard drive over here, clean it all up with level 1 and level 2, then move on to level 3, because it's going to plug straight in. Does that make sense? So I think when people come along to spiritual teachings and self-development, it's almost like they want to jump straight to the good stuff. It's like, yeah, let's do this. But the medicine wheel empowerment process is kind of like, let's clean up aisle 1 and 2, then move over to aisle 3. So it is a really full process. Even if you're sitting there going, yeah, I've done all my work, I've done so much work on myself, I've done so much work on my past, I've done so much work on my fears, I'm all good, I can jump straight to level 3. It's, to me, all of your entire life will just be a process of cycling through the medicine wheel. So there's no such thing as I'm here and I stay here in this consciousness. Kind of like the very essence of our reality is that it's cyclical. It moves. You will never stay in one consciousness. You'll come back round here, then you'll go here, then you'll go here, then you'll go here. It's a never-ending cycle of movement. And as soon as you understand, I'm just moving through these 4 directions continuously, then you have control of your life, because you'll know which direction you're in, which consciousness you're working with, when things show up in your future. If you try and stay in one section of consciousness and just go, I'm just going to be in here for the rest of my life, you'll really struggle when you come back round to the South and the West. You can't stop that cycle. That is the way that the universe is moving and it's cycling. The best way to meet it is, what do I do when I'm next in the south? What do I do when I'm next in the north? What do I do? Because the knowledge and the wisdom is then what you keep for the rest of your entire life. So what I'm wanting to gift you today is a really simple, easy step of navigating and balancing your victim consciousness and your fears. I call this the self-healing cycle. And any resistance, any tension, any pain is because you have a thought trapped in fear. Anything in your life that is causing you pain, discomfort, it is because there is a thought trapped in fear. Hands down, every time. It will either be a limiting belief, it's either an emotion that you judge that's not okay, bad, wrong. It's like a resistance. I don't want to feel this. And there's usually fear attached to that. I don't want to feel this because I'm afraid of the outcome of it. So what's keeping you stuck is a thought trapped in fear. And all you do is acknowledge, okay, there's this pain. What is my thought then that's trapped in fear? Because there are only two choices when it comes to thoughts in the metaphysical space, because we're in a relative reality. Only two choices. There's fear over here, there's love over here. Love really is all there is, right? But to experience and know ourselves as love, we need the opposite of that, so that there's a relativity in the experience. Okay? That is why whenever you're in pain, there is a thought in fear. And all you do to understand that is then ask yourself, what is the opposite of this thought? What's the opposite experience of that? And then it's like the ego wants to prove itself right. We're in protection mode. It's like, this is true, I'm staying here. And as soon as you find the opposite, it's like the grip can loosen and the soul goes, hi. There's a balance over here in the love consciousness, and it's like you expand. Not to make the fear thought wrong or bad, or like put fear on top of fear of, well, what happens if I'm afraid of something again? It's almost like, but then you just do the exercise. It's okay to have that thought. You just want to balance it with the thought in love. Balance it with the opposite. And when you have your thought in fear, what you do is ask the question, would I like to know how it feels to whatever the opposite of that is? And then just say yes. So it's like a curious question. Would I like to know how it feels to feel? So let's do an example. Let's say with my autoimmune disease, I'm in pain, discomfort. I feel the doctors even told me that this is unfixable. We can't do anything about it. I'm going to be ill for the rest of my life. So therefore I have a limiting belief. I'm sick. I'm broken. I'm ill for the rest of my life. Limiting belief. My body is broken. It doesn't work properly, right? This is what I've been told. Therefore, this is what I believe by doctors when I was age 9. It's gone in. It's imprinted, right? And I am proving it perpetually. This is so. So just understanding, okay, this is a thought that is trapped in fear. And this is one experience that I am having. What is the opposite of that? The opposite of that is, well, my body is healthy. It is God. It is healing itself. It is a miracle. It is so intelligent beyond belief. It was able to create life, have a baby. There's things about my body that I can't explain. My body's pretty intelligent. So I then ask myself, would I like to know how it feels to experience my body as a miracle? Yes. Would I like to know how it feels to experience my body as healthy? Yes. Would I like to know how it feels to experience my body as extremely fit beyond measure? Yes. And that is all I'm doing. For every fear thought that I have around this pain, I balance it with what is the opposite of what I'm thinking. And would I like to know how that feels? Just question. And then go, yeah, I would like to know how that feels. Even if there's part of you that goes, but I don't believe that that's possible. It's like, but would you like to know how that would feel? Well, yeah, of course. Unless you're like, no, I'm absolutely going to stay in the fear experience. This is all I ever want to experience. I'm going to stay right here. And that is a conscious choice as well. You can consciously choose to stay where you are. You can invite the opposite experience of that. It's not that you're saying this fear experience is wrong. I need to jump over to the love side and this has to be my only experience of life over on this side. And I completely shun and resist my fear side. It's like holding space for both, the duality, and saying, this has been my experience, but would I like to also experience this? Yeah. Just balancing. That's all you do. Cognitively opening, giving your consciousness another avenue, another choice, so it's not fixed. Okay, this is part of your cognitive self-healing cycle. So hopefully that's simple enough for you to do. Just when the next time you're feeling any pain or discomfort, or you notice that you've had a limiting belief, you notice that a fear's come up. Maybe it's fear around money and you're like, I don't have enough. Would I like to know how it feels to have enough? Yes. Really simple. When you catch yourself in a fear thought, just open it up. Would I like to know how it feels to feel really good about paying my bills? Yes. Would I like to know how it feels to be really grateful for my ex-husband's late maintenance payments? Would I like to know how it feels to feel really grateful that even that they're late? Yes. Do you see what I mean? You can counter it with every negative or limiting thought that you have, not to make it bad or wrong. It's just, would you also like the opposite? Yes. And this is just a practice. Every time that you catch yourself in something heavy, in something limiting, balance it with the other side. Would you like to know this? So the trick is, how do you know your thoughts? How do you track and get good at what you're thinking about, right? So, and this is also a part of what I teach. How do you slow down enough that you notice when you are looping these victim thoughts, when you are looping your fear thoughts, when you are having that experience stuck in fear? Most of the time this is unconscious, that we're not even aware that we're trapped in fear. We're not even aware that we're having these thoughts. So it's the first stage is really becoming in receiving mode. How do you slow down enough to notice, that's what I'm thinking. I'm perpetually worrying the entire time. I'm looping these thoughts of worry. Whoa. Would I like to know how it feels to be really relaxed? Yeah. Right? Please try it out. So effective, and will certainly clean up your experience of reality on a day-to-day basis, and is so helpful and should be super quick to do. It is just remembering to do it, catching yourself. Hopefully you have value from this. If you would like to know more, understand how you get into receiving mode, how you change your habits so that you're really slick and quick at noticing this, more on the self-healing cycle, more on how you navigate all your emotions, please go to shamanicdirections.com and get your free empowerment booklet with 3 secrets to empowerment success. Upichai.